Good evening, everybody, and welcome to episode 73 of the Paws Up podcast. We just keep rolling on with episodes of the show of some awesome guests from the world of FIU athletics. Our recent episode with Owen Puck did really well, and we can't thank you all enough. Now it's time to get into swimming and diving as we speak with the senior member of the swim and dive team, none other than Jordan Browning. Jordan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to a fun podcast.
Oh, well, we can't thank you for stopping by. It's always fun to talk about swim and dive. You know, one of the most dominant members of FIU athletics as far as championships. I mean, y'all are always killing it, and it's fun to talk swim and dive. So let's just get right into it here, Jordan. I wanted to ask you, as I usually do with every athlete on the show, when did you first pursue swimming competitively, and what made you ultimately pull the trigger on wanting to turn this into a career?
I actually started swimming competitively when I was 4 years old. My mom offered me a donut if I could swim across the pool without breathing. So I'm a lover of donuts. I'm going to do anything for a donut. So I jumped right in, and it worked out really well. So ever since then, I've been swimming competitively and enjoying it along the way.
Well, now I got to know, what flavor was the donut?
I think double chocolate glazed. You can't go wrong with the double chocolate from Dunkin'.
Well, that's some very important information about Jordan Browning lore right there. That's very important info. So you specialize in the backstroke and the butterfly. How did you land on those being your sort of key points of interest in the sport compared to some other forms of swimming or even the diving aspect of it?
Oh, God, I've never been a diver. Diving is so hard. I could never do that. So props to them. But I think I've always pretty much been a butterflyer. And then recently, backstroke just started clicking. Pretty much growing up, I was doing everything. When you're a club swimmer, they throw you in the water and just tell you to swim. So I was doing whatever they wanted me to do. And then all of a sudden, when I was on my back, things just started working out well. So I've just been staying backstroke and butterfly pretty much ever since then.
And as you kind of competed in high school, you won medals, at your local high school, including, a state title in 2020. Talk a little more about those memories. I know you kind of discussed that's one of your favorite moments of your swimming career. Talk a little about that.
Yeah, I mean, when you're on a high school team, you swim so much with your club teammates. They're all in different high schools, so it's actually so much fun because instead of competing with them, I get to compete against them. And overall, it's just a great environment to be with your high school teammates. You got a different goal when you're swimming individually on your club team. You're representing yourself and not so much a team. And when I'm swimming with my high school team, like as you said, my favorite memory was winning my state championship with my relay teammates. I mean, it's just awesome. You come together and you represent your high school. It's pretty much the same thing here. We all just have one common goal, and it's just so much fun to swim high school with your club teammates.
And you said more about, your high school time. Obviously, alluded to it in 2020. That was right when COVID hit. So what was that like, having to kind of adjust to, swimming through, the pandemic, and eventually how would that impact maybe getting recruited by colleges?
Yeah, I actually got really lucky. I committed to FIU pretty early 2020, so I didn't have any issues with COVID and recruiting. So sorry about that. But yeah, honestly, swimming kind of everything just stopped, obviously, as we all know. So we were out of the water for 2 months, which in the swimming world is crazy to even fathom. You do not stay out of the water for that long. So it was just definitely new to everyone. And when you got back into it, it just felt like you'd never swam again. Or swim before, but it was just so much fun. And, we were all learning how to swim again like little kids. So it kind of just brought me back to my days when I was swimming for a donut. Maybe not so much a time on the board.
Oh, I'm again. Okay. This is a question that Jake has requested for, and I'm not interested by it. So you're ambidextrous, right?
Yes, I am.
So, I mean, I'm wondering too, how does that affect swimming? I don't know if it does, but does it for you?
It does not affect me at all. Actually, I can turn to either side, if that is kind of the question that you're asking. But yeah, in swimming, I don't really need to pick a hand that I swim with. So it pretty much just works with whatever I'm feeling in the moment.
Wow, what a great question, SID. Well, good job, Johnny.
Thank you.
So looking back at your recruiting, obviously you said that you committed pretty early on FIU. Talk about when Coach Warner reached out and that whole process.
So I actually reached out to Coach Horner. I was in town. Hopefully he's not listening. On a trip to Miami. So
Oh.
I had known I wanted to pretty much be in this area, and then I reached out to him, and he said, "Yeah, come down for a practice." And the minute I stepped on campus, I knew that this was the place for me. He offered me an official visit to come a few months later, and I just knew ever since then. He got me in the car on the way to the airport and said, "We hope you're going to be a Panther." And the next day, I was a Panther. So it worked out well for him and for me, I guess, in this situation. But I knew the whole time that this is where I wanted to be.
Talk a little bit about the culture shock going from North Carolina to Miami. Weather, food, I guess culture, just completely different.
I mean, yeah, in North Carolina, we have a lot of diversity, but obviously here it's like a melting pot. So it was definitely very different in that perspective, but it's just so fun to meet people from all these kind of different places. I mean, I have like 19 different countries on my team, and you just don't find that anywhere else except FIU. And the weather, I mean, it's amazing. That's not even a culture shock. I would love warm weather. This is wonderful. If you're ever thinking about coming to FIU, who's watching this, make sure to get on down here. But yeah, I mean, North Carolina weather is not that bad. I have to give it to them. It's not that cold, but this is just amazing.
Been to Charlotte once. Lovely city. Love the barbecue. It was fantastic.
The barbecue. Yeah, we're very southern. We're known for some good barbecue and some cheer wine.
Interesting.
There we go. There we go. So you talk about the culture shock. You come to South Florida, what now, 3 years ago. And what was that like? Who were some people that you met onto the scene, the coaches? What was that being able to adjust to a freshman Jordan and coming to Miami for your freshman year of college?
Yeah, it was definitely very different. I mean, obviously, growing up, I had my parents right there whenever I needed them. So for me, it wasn't necessarily culture shock. It was more of, oh my God, I'm in college now, and I kind of have to figure out how to do things on my own. But I mean, you have these coaches, they're never going to let you fail. You're never going to be on your own. So it's just so great to have the coaches, the support staff that we have here at FIU, as well as my best friend who's across the room from me right now, Annalise. I mean, we just do everything together. So it's amazing to have the support that we do here.
And for you in your freshman year, right from the get-go, you're part of the dynasty. You guys won your 8th straight conference title, which was eventually the final one in Conference USA. What was that like being able to be part of a championship culture, winning the 8th straight title with, a lot of, older seniors, whether with the COVID year. So what was that being able to be like, getting there and winning your first ring?
I mean, honestly, it's insane. You come into this, again, like you said, dynasty, and you've got all these girls who are so experienced. I mean, when I was on the team, I had a 5th year who had won 5 straight titles. Like, it can be so scary at times, but they really walk you through it. And when you get to that conference meet, we all know what we're there for. And our end goal is to jump off of that 3-meter springboard. And it's just, you go into this thing with these group of girls that are going to help you throughout the entire process. So it was never really too much. Obviously, it was a bit nerve-wracking when you're a freshman stepping onto the pool deck for the first time, but you just know that you've got people in your corner and we're there to win.
Yeah, so in the same way that your freshman year saw continued success for the Panthers, your sophomore season was a bit different. They switched conferences, joined the AAC, the American, and came up just short in the championship, 2nd place. Just talk about the move from one conference to another in your eyes and ultimately finishing in 2nd. Obviously, it's something that this team does not tend to do that often.
Yeah, honestly, switching was exciting for us at first. Obviously, it's a bit nerve-wracking again, it's part of the uncertainty of the unknown. We're all kind of like, we don't know what's going to happen. But, we went into that meet technically as the underdog in the situation. And we knew what we wanted to do. We knew what we wanted to accomplish. And although we didn't come out with that end result, I think that we actually got what we came for. We had that drive. I mean, my junior year, obviously it was the quest for one again, but we had that drive. We knew what we were going to do when it came down to that championship meet. And it honestly gave us that little push that we needed to say, listen, we're going to have to work for this, but we also know what we're capable of. So, yeah, it was a little bit heartbreaking, for our seniors as well, for everyone else on the team to go through that loss. But it was definitely the push that we needed to keep going.
Coach Horner, awesome coach. He prides himself on coaching some of the best swimmers on the planet and being a championship contender year after year. With that said, what was the message from Horner following that loss, and how did you all rebound the following season? Like the advice he gave and the fuel he used to motivate you all.
Yeah, well, you all see those football players who watch, at the Super Bowl, we're watching everyone win the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
when we lost our conference championship, we sat and we watched the other team get their trophy, and basically told us, just take this in. If this is where you guys want to be next year, you know what you're going to have to do. And it wasn't really too much of a this is your fault. It was a let's use this as motivation moving forward. And throughout the entire year, I mean, Coach Randy is the best person on this planet. He knows what to do to get us going, and he never will hold that against us. But it is used as that motivation to say, listen, we want to be up on that podium receiving that trophy, and we're going to do what we need to do day in and day out to get there.
Going into 2023, you had told your team that you wanted to be the leader of the team. You wanted to take over, and eventually Coach Horner did name you a team captain. What was that moment like for you, finding out that you'd be a captain?
Yeah, so it was awesome. I mean, my freshman and sophomore year, two of my closest friends had been the captain, so I knew that this is something that I wanted to do. I knew that I was prepped for it. And when he told me that I was captain, I mean, I was so excited. I sent the text to my family group chat like, woo! But yeah, it was honestly awesome. It was a great feeling to know that, you know what, like I made it. Maybe I didn't accomplish everything that I wanted in the pool, but I know that I'm a leader out of it, so.
Then you going into that year, you guys are named American Athletic Champs. You guys come back, huge redemption season for you guys. Just talk about that and being able to come back and win the American Athletic, and it seemed like pretty easy fashion.
Yeah, definitely not pretty easy fashion. SMU is a wonderful team if they're watching. But yeah, I mean, again, we knew what we wanted to do. There was no way we were going into that meet and losing. Just going to say that here. We were going to win from the start. We had that winning mentality, and every single person on that pool deck knew that we were going to lift each other up throughout the entire meet. Obviously, we know that things don't go right the entire time. We had a few setbacks during the meet, but every single person there knew that we wanted to raise that trophy at the end of it. So winning that championship honestly just felt like a sigh of relief. Like we did it. We worked so hard for the past year, and it was just an amazing feeling.
That's awesome to hear. Kevin, is it time for not a news break?
Sure.
Okay, well, I bring that up because I don't have anything for news break, but there's a lot of stuff going on in FIU athletics right now. So just how about a quick look around FIU athletics and just who to keep an eye on in the 305. So let's get right into it, starting off with FIU football, who at the time of recording, this was recorded back on Thursday, October the 24th. So we don't know how they did against New Mexico State on Tuesday, October the 29th. However, after that game, the Panthers will have a week off, then head to Jacksonville, Alabama to take on the Gamecocks on Saturday, November 16th at 2 p.m. That can be seen on ESPN platforms, likely ESPN Plus. I see you, Kevin. Next up is men's soccer. Their next matchup following their match against Temple is going to be at home on senior night, alumni weekend as well, on Friday, November 1st. So when this drops, that's going to be tomorrow at 7 p.m. as they take on the Memphis Tigers over at Leyva Family Field. That can be watched on ESPN Plus. And then after that, it's tournament time for FIU men's soccer as they get ready for the American Championships on Friday, November the 8th to the 16th. Next up is women's soccer, who are at the time of recording are coming off a win over UTEP. Again, we'll not know how they did in their match against Western Kentucky, but at the time of this episode dropping, even a little bit before at 7:00, they will be taking on Jacksonville State at Leyva Family Field on the same day as this recording drops, the 31st. So they're getting ready to host the Conference USA tournament on Wednesday, November the 6th to Sunday, November the 10th. Times are to be decided, but of course we wish women's soccer the best of luck as they compete for a CUSA title. Next up is beach volleyball, who is still getting things ready to go for the season for the Panthers. They are going to be coming off some performances. Just make sure I have my notes. Okay, the University of Tampa, that's on the 26th and the 27th of October, so we'll see how they did there. they're going to be taking on a AVCA College Beast East Zone qualifier for the NCAA on Saturday and Sunday, November the 2nd to the 3rd. This is taking a while, but this is the deep part of FIU athletics here in the fall semester. So let's just keep going here. Next up is indoor volleyball. They're going to be taking on, let's see here. They're going to be taking on Jacksonville State in a doubleheader in Alabama on Friday, November the 1st at 7 p.m. and Saturday, November the 2nd. And we're getting awfully close to the start of both men's and women's basketball. The season opener for men's basketball is on Tuesday, November the 5th at 7 o'clock against Rice. And the season opener for women's basketball is going to be on Monday, November the 4th against Florida National. And of course, I have to end this talking a bit about swim and dive. They are going to be competing in the South Florida Diving Invitational on Friday, November the 8th at 10 a.m., as well as Saturday, November the 9th, also at 10 a.m. over at the Biscayne Bay Aquatic Center. So that was your look inside the world of FIU athletics. So Jordan, thanks so much for spending some time with us. Let's keep things going here. Talking about something that I think is really awesome that you've been able to experience. It's working with Olympians, right? You have Maha Gouda, Alina Phillip, Nicole Frank, and Umi. They're all athletes that you have met personally. Just talk about what you've learned from them over the years and how they've maybe motivated you, and that maybe you could be an Olympian someday.
Yeah, I'm not sure if being an Olympian is in my cards, but you know what? A girl can dream. Obviously, working with these girls from around the world, just in general, is awesome. And the fact that they're experienced enough to, to go to the Olympics, it's just awesome to even follow along with them. I'm very close with Nicole Frank, so just hearing her stories from the Olympics, it's just so awesome to know that these girls can experience things like that. And I'm so proud of them that they're representing their countries on the world's biggest stage. So it's really awesome that we have those girls on the team.
This is currently your senior year with the squad. Aspirations even bigger than ever before, I'm sure. How are you handling preparation for swim meets and maybe pregame rituals or superstitions than you have in years past, and maybe even the added pressure of continuing to dominate the conference year in and year out with a bigger target on your backs?
I think I get pretty nervous before swim meets, but I also have learned, over the years how to calm my nerves. I love country music, so I always listen to country music before I swim, on the bus ride over to BBC. But I think there's a bit of added pressure. We're going for our quest for 2, but also we like to stay grounded throughout the season. Obviously, we have a really long time before we're competing for that championship. So right now, while that is our main focus, we've still got other things we want to accomplish throughout the season. So we're all just pretty much trying to stay focused, do our own things while also supporting each other for whatever we may need throughout the season.
You guys already got your season going. You had to meet against Miami, and I think then you guys had the Fall Classic, the TYR Fall Classic. Just talk about just those 2 events and how do you think that it's gone for you guys. And I know, as Jake mentioned, SMU's coming up for you guys on Saturday. So if you just want to talk a little bit about that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, dual meets are always fun. Obviously, Miami was our first meet together as a team with our new freshmen on the team, with our transfers. So it was a great way to just get the team going, learning the cheers. As silly as that sounds, we got to bring the team together and do silly things like that to make sure that we're on the same page when it comes to that conference championship. So Miami was a good test run. We learned how we are as a team on the pool deck together. And then obviously the Tier Fall Classic is so fun. We have a blast Friday night and Saturday morning. It's a lot of fun because we don't normally have guys on the pool deck with us. So it's just a really good environment to have a lot of people on deck, and we're all cheering for each other. And one of our goals is to be the loudest team on the pool deck. So I really think that we accomplished that at the Fall Classic. And obviously we're pumped up for SMU, our conference rivals. Well, no more, but it'll be a lot of fun competing against them. We haven't seen them since the conference championship. So I know that they've got some vengeance against us, and we're going to give it our all this weekend.
Talk a little bit about the newcomers on the team. Definitely seems like there's quite a bit of them, and you as the senior just being kind of that leader and helping them out in whatever they may need.
Yeah, we've got a lot of newcomers. I mean, they're all great girls. And, one thing that as a senior we look for is, are they going to be willing and able to put in the work that we all put in on a day-to-day basis? And every single one of them that, they show up to the pool, whether it be Coral Springs where the divers are or Tamiami, and they're ready to go at all times. And as a senior, you just really can't ask for much more than that. and our transfers, I mean, they're just great additions to the team. And I'm just really glad that they all decided to be Panthers.
So going away from swimming, you are the vice president of SALC. Just talk a little bit about that role, what it entails. And I think SALC is pretty new for the most part, if you just want to talk about how that came to be.
Yeah, so I am the vice president of the SALC. I honestly came into this role because I went up to Julie Berg and said, I want to be president one day. And she said, okay, that works out well. I always knew that I wanted to, give back to my student athletes. Obviously, FIU has helped me out so much in life. So I wanted to make this a better place for everyone. And I get to do it alongside the president now, which is Bailey on the softball team. And we just have a lot of fun together. The e-board, we get together and, we talk about how we're going to make this place better for everyone. And it's just such a good time when we're all together. And we don't really normally get to be together because we're on different we play different sports. So, it's always a good time when you get to mingle with other teams and see what their life is like. And they get to see what my life is like.
And you say you want to be a leader. And there was an article that a newspaper wrote about you last year. And in the newspaper, you talked about you wanting to become a future AD. And you talked about Scott Carr and maybe his inspiration. I know you interned with Scott Carr in the athletic department. So what is that like? Learning from him, and how does that motivate you to hopefully work in sports, collegiate athletics, down the line for you?
I mean, FIU Athletics has the best staff on the planet. Everyone is so welcoming. I'm up there pretty much every day with Nika, Julie, Heath, and Scott, and it's just so awesome to learn from these great group of people who I hope to be one day. So honestly, it's just a really fun time. I have some good chats with Nika, so we have a lot of fun together. But, I do hope to be Scott Carr one day. So seeing what he does on a day-to-day basis and getting to chat with him is something that I don't take for granted, because I know that other people in this position, they may not get to talk to the athletic director of the university. So I never take that for granted. And I take everything that he says to heart, and I really just think that they're great role models for everyone around them.
Oh man, what would be your first order of business as AD of FIU?
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe change our colors to vice colors. That would be fun.
There we go. I like that.
I'm not going to complain about
that. Blue. Yeah, that would be so fun.
No, I mean, it's an amazing identity. I mean, just we saw those Vice uniforms that football had. I mean, oh my gosh, just a fully Vice athletics program, man, that'd be lights out.
Lights out! Lights out!
Yeah, I knew you were going to do that.
I knew you knew I was going to do that. So, yeah. Jordan, thanks so much for spending some time. Let's get into some fun rapid-fire questions as we start to close up shop here. Kevin, I think you have the first one.
There's a lot of interesting characters on the swim and dive team, I'm sure. So who would you say is the funniest on the team? And if you're confident, you could say yourself.
Okay. Ooh, funniest? Probably Harley. But that's a secret. But I just outed that. That's okay. Oh. It's Harley. Harley is hilarious.
There we go.
Yeah.
So it's not a secret anymore. Not a secret anymore.
Sorry, Harley.
So this is a music question. Who's getting the aux cord on the team? Who's not getting the aux cord on the team? You can include coaches as well if you want.
Who's getting? This is a sensitive topic if you know anything about swim and dive. But can I avoid the who's not getting the aux? Okay, the person that's getting the aux would be Delaney Byro. Okay. And I don't want to say who's not getting the aux because it's very sensitive on our team.
Okay,
but I'll just say Josh.
Okay, I was like, give me a coach. Okay, Josh. Okay.
Yeah.
What's Delaney's playlist
looking like?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
What's Delaney's playlist looking like?
Similar to mine. She's got a bit funky music. She's got country in there, pop. Yeah, we're on the same page when it comes to music.
All right,
there we go.
Not bad. Where is the place on campus for you to grab a quick bite to eat?
Starbucks, mango, always. Venti pink drink with light ice.
Well, I think it's that guest that give us the order, so we'll take it.
Yeah, you're like 2 of 50 or something.
If you ever see me walk out of there with anything else, call someone because something's not right. That's the only thing that I get.
Why mango specifically? There's like 7 Starbucks on campus.
Yeah, but the line is shorter at Mango, so you have to go there.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like the hidden spot.
Yeah, GL's not the move. Not the move.
No, and also it's in the middle of campus. Like I don't want to be walking all the way over there.
Yeah, that's
Mango is pretty easily accessible over here.
I agree.
Let's, I mean, you know what? We'll divide it up. The go to swimming, men and women. Give me one each.
What's the question?
Go. The greatest of all time swimmer. A male
Oh.
swimmer, a female swimmer.
Hey, Michael Phelps, Katie Ledecky.
Okay.
There you go.
Awesome. I mean, I don't know how much research Johnny did to add stuff to your bio, but you have a fear of snakes. How did that start?
I don't know, but I actually do know. Well, I used to be a cross country runner, and we were running the trails once, and someone was like, "Oh my God, there's a snake!" And I don't think I've ever screamed so loudly in my life, and I've never ran that fast before. And I think ever since then, I'm like, I don't want to see them. I don't want to know about them. I don't really get how they move without arms and legs. It just doesn't really work for me. So I would just prefer not to be in the same vicinity as a snake.
I feel you on that one for sure. So
Yeah.
I always ask this to every athlete. Who do you think should be the next swimmer or diver that we get on the podcast?
So we have a Christy and Nikki. Those are the two we've had so far. But Christy's
Those are
obviously
the only
graduated.
two.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think you should get Harley Eye on the podcast.
Harley,
I really do. Yeah, put her on. Harley Eye or Sophie, for sure.
Oh,
There you
man.
go.
All right, Jordan.
She's
Again,
listening
thank you
to
so
me right
much. What happened?
Harley Eye's listening to me right now.
Hey, how's it going then? If you can hear us, hey. But Jordan, thanks so much for hopping on. As always, as we do with coaches and athletes, if you have anything you'd like to say to the fans, to FIU athletics, to anyone, the floor is now yours.
Come to BBC. We have a lot of swim meets there, and we're really good. So if you're ever bored and you're out and about in North Miami, pop on over. And please get us a pool, President Jessel, if you're watching this. But thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, that's awesome, Jessel. You have a mission now, and Jordan made it pretty clear. But no, thank you so much, Jordan, for hopping on and spending some time.
Thank you, guys.
Episode 74 on the horizon, gentlemen. I think our guest is football related. Can you confirm, Kevin?
I can confirm it is football.
All right, you're gonna have to wait for the trailer though. But no, thank you guys so much. Obviously, we'll also come at you with the Paws Up preview for FIU football in Jack State. That should be dropping soon. But
I'll be there.
Oh, you're gonna be there, Kevin.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Going to Jacksonville, Alabama. How about that? So thank you guys so much for watching. For Jordan, Kevin, Johnny, and I saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your night. And Paws Up.
Paws up.